Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new episode of CoasterFAQs, and you can probably already see where we are headed. Camden Park in Huntington, West Virginia.
You forgot to introduce that.
As you already know, I am the Gemini Man, and the one driving right now is the Mystic Rider.
Arrived.
Oh, this. There.
Now, when we get into the park, we will tell you a little bit of information about Camden Park. We'll see you inside. Alright, we are inside Camden Park in Huntington, West Virginia. It is opened in 1903, only 26 acres, ladies and gentlemen. And it was founded in 1903 as a picnic spot by the Camden Interstate Railway Company. And it's named after West Virginia Senator Johnson N. Camden. And it is home to three historic rides. One in front of us, the Haunted House, which was built by the Pretzel Amusement Company in the 1960s. It is one of only two remaining pretzel dark rides in operation in the United States that are still gravity fed. And right behind us is the Big Dipper, which is celebrating 60 years of operation. It is also known for having one of the biggest airtime hills for such a small coaster that's big. And as you can see right here is the map. As you can see on the map, Camden Park's not that very big of a place, and it's only 26 acres. So,
but in comparison, like the Gemini Man said, 26 acres, but which is incredibly small in comparison to other amusement parks, which I want to point out. Parks like Kings Island, which I happen to know on the back of my head, has over 700 acres available with over 200, like around 250 acres of its currently in use. Right.
You follow us down this way. Here's the remaining part of Camden Park that we didn't get. If you look right in front of it here, which is their newest ride, the Slingshot, which is also a roller coaster. They have 4 roller coasters at Camden, but this is the newest one. And it's only it's one of the smallest. And also, if you look behind it, is the Rattler, which is a pendulum ride like Delirium at Kings Island.
But it's significantly smaller, right?
And behind the Rattler is their Discovery Center, which is a museum. And if you look right here is the interior of the Big Dipper.
Okay, here we go.
We are now on the Big Dipper. Hold on to your hat, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bumpy ride. 60-year-old roller coaster on the way.
Yeah.
Hold on to your hat, ladies and gentlemen, our viewing audience. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Straight down. Here comes the airtime song.
Hold on to your butt! Ah! lot more airtime than initially anticipated. This thing has a lot of airtime, viewers. Trust me.
Okay, we are now in front of the Slingshot. The Slingshot's the newest ride here at Camden Park, and it opened in 2016. As you can see, it's not that big of a roller coaster. It's only really compact coaster.
Well,
It spins, so it does make you a little dizzy afterwards.
yeah. And here we go.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Due to the fact that we're going to be going back and forth, spinning, we're going to be just putting in our own what our reaction is on the ride. So,
yeah, well, even though this thing is kind of as a coaster, it barely is. As you saw previously, it's a really tiny coaster. Barely even has any hills at all. However, it does run on a track. It does use gravity and moves, so it technically does count as a coaster, but once again, just barely.
here we go.
Not spinning too much yet. Oh, we're starting to spin.
Here we go.
Woohoo! Whoa! Whoa! Woo! Alright. Better than I thought.
It may be small, but it does have a good enough speed.
Yeah. Well, it's better than your whoa again. Whoa.
Here we go again.
Woo-hoo! Woo! Woo! Woo!
Here we go, one fourth time around.
Yep. Woo! Whoa. So I don't know if it's there. I don't know if he's there. Here we go.
Okay, the fifth time.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
And we're rolling back.
5 times. Even though this thing was not that big, it was kind of surprising.
I wasn't expecting the rollback though.
Yeah. Well, the rollback's an interesting thing, but what I say this thing could use, it might have been, if it was just a little bigger, maybe had a hill in there somewhere. I truly say this probably would have been one of my favorite roller coasters of all time. If they were one of my favorite roller coasters.
Right. This is a little bit unusual for an amusement park, but right here in front of it looks like a hill. It's actually an Indian mound. And the as far as me and the Mystic Rider know, this is the only, Camden Park is the only amusement park with an actual Indian mound in it. However, it has not been excavated, and it's been here since the park is opened in 1903. So, Camden Park's been here for 115 years, so you do the math.
Yeah.
But, another fact on the mound is that it has never been excavated.
Right, Evan.
So, but there was only one time where they flattened it, the top of the mound, to actually use it as a bandstand to have bands play on it.
You know, since it's been restored, or
No, there's been no record that shows that it's been restored or not. It has been preserved since it is behind this chain fence here.
okay.
All right, guys, we are on the Little Dipper. The Little Dipper was built in 1961 by National Amusement Devices, the same company that built the Big Dipper, but only a couple of years later.
Fun fact that both of these are two of three that are still in operation, with the third one being in
Mexico.
Hello, so here we go.
And forgot to turn on the camera during the left hill part, so we just thought I'd let you know what I was going to say during it. The Big Dipper and Little Dipper are under the protection of the American Coaster Enthusiasts, and they are coaster classics.
Better known as ACE.
And they are under protection for being 2 ACE Coaster Classics.
Yeah. But what that means is that Camden Park is not allowed to do anything in ways of modifying the rides. All that they could do is upgrade them and preserve them.
Yep.
Well, as we walk down the park, we're to our right here is the spot. Is their Swan Lake. Just an easy thing to point out, because I personally, this is the only park I've seen that still has swan boats. I have never seen an actual amusement park that has them, or at least still has them. So
we would get on it, but the thing is, they actually charge $6 for 20 minutes for 1 to 2 people, and since there's only 2 of us, I don't think we want to pay the extra $6 to ride in it for 20 minutes.
All right. Although down here there are a couple of very interesting little rides. One is a very popular classic, the Tilt-A-Whirl.
Caution, you may get sick.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we are on the Tilt-A-Whirl at Camden Park. It is one of the older rides at Camden Park. It's been around since the 50s.
But yeah, but even though this is an older ride, it still is going. I remember that up at Cedar Point, they put in theirs not that long ago, around I think 2014, 2015, if I remember correctly.
If you haven't been on a Tilt-A-Whirl, think of it as those that bear ride you ride at the county or state fair.
Yeah, just spin you around real fast, and well, you're in the right place, it'll spin around real fast. If you sit in the right way, you might not go around at all. It's up in the air.
So we're gonna do a reaction of how our reaction is on the ride. So just be patient. All right, guys, the Tilt-A-Whirl is now on. So we're gonna try and film our reaction to it while spinning. So if we lose the camera, we apologize for any inconvenience.
Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! Here we go again, lean! Woo-hoo! Lean!
Whoa!
Okay, ready? Go this way, lean!
Whoa! Oh!
There we go. Right, lean!
Oh boy, we're spinning, and we stopped. Woo! Okay, well, it was shorter than we thought, but
yeah,
it did spin us around quite a bit.
Yeah. Once again, it's just a simple trick. There is a simple trick to the game to spin around on these things real fast. The trick is to whatever direction you start spinning, lean.
Alright guys, we are now on the Sky Ride. This is one of the ones one of only a couple amusement parks I've been to that actually still has a Sky Ride. Kings Island used to have one, but they got rid of it in the 90s.
You're one at Cedar Point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Cedar Point also has one, but theirs is bigger, much bigger than this.
As we go on the Sky Ride, we're going to give you a little bit of an aerial view of Camden Park. As you can see over there is the Little Dipper, the Tilt-A-Whirl, and and I forget, I don't know the ride by Tilt-A-Whirl's name, but if you look down, actually, that's the ride. This ain't really a ride, I should say. It's their miniature golf course, all themed around West Virginia.
Yeah, huge strike one for that matter. Now look at the fountain structure on this. This is a pretty neat little fountain for its size.
Now, to give you a little bit of a history lesson here, since we're on the Sky Ride, right here where the West Virginia Golf Park, the West Virginia Adventure Golf was actually a ride that used to be at Kings Island, but was sold to Camden Park in the late 80s. That would be the Screaming Demon, but when it came here, it was known as the Thunderbolt Express.
As you guys can see, this thing is going to replace it. It was closed down. The Thunderbolt was closed down for maintenance issues, and the park decided that it was just too much of an expense to keep.
That was actually closed in 1999 for a circuit board malfunction, which was the actual reason they shut it down, because they didn't have any spare parts for it. Alright, we just turned around, so we're going to show you the rest of the park from this way. If you look to your left, you can see a little bit of Big Dipper, but not the whole thing, but you can see a little bit of it. And if you look toward your right here, they have a new addition to Camden Park, a petting zoo.
Well, at least new within the last few years, because I don't remember the last time I was here, which was in 2014, 2013, somewhere around there. That was not there, so it's probably was added to the park within the past 5 years.
And as you can see, we have a few guests on the top of this pavilion here, a couple of pigeons.
Well, more than a couple.
But actually, the pavilion those pigeons are actually on top of are one of the many picnic areas for Camden. And if you look straight in front of us, you can actually see the whip, which we would go and film on, but unfortunately it's down for maintenance right now. Alright guys, we're going into the haunted house. We'll see you in there in a minute. Alright guys, we are on the haunted house.
We can't really guarantee, because it is a pretty dark ride, but we'll see what we can get.
So you can't see pretty much anything, that's just because it's really dark in there, so probably prepare for a scare. Alright guys, well, like we told you a minute ago, we told you we couldn't guarantee you any POV because it got really dark in there real quick. So
except besides the neon lights that they had in there, we couldn't see a thing.
So yeah, we thought the neon lights would be a little bit brighter, because I was actually expecting my Dragonfire shirt to show up on camera, but unfortunately it wasn't that bright enough to see how the ultraviolet light would look. So, all right, guys, for our last part of this video, we are on the front of the train of the Big Dipper, and we're going to give you a POV from front and center.
What's big? Quoting Samuel Jackson from Camden Park. Hold on to your butts.
Here it comes. I'd say while we were exiting, we wanted to point out these little hand cards and the little boat ride over there.
Yeah. These rides have been here for, I think since the park's been open, right?
About the 50s.
Yeah, so 50s. They've been open for a while. And I remember one of the first times I came to Camden Park, this was one of the rides I went on, and I barely squeezed it.
Alright guys, this is the sign that points you into Camden Park. As you can see, the clown literally is pointing to Camden Park. So, for all the budget coaster facts, I am the Gemini Man.
I am the Mystic Rider.
And this has been another episode of the CoasterFAQs Field Trip. See you next time.